Hey, welcome back. I'm Darren. Today we're joined with Matt, who is our staff editor and writer for Grand Touring Concepts, and he's brought along a really special little unit.
This is a Solex 5000. It was built in 1974 by the French for use in Canada, and has a 50cc motor driving the front wheel, which is highly unusual for a moped.
So, Matt's going to give you a rundown of a little bit of the history of the bike, how it works, and then, because it's got legendary fuel economy, we're going to do an economy test where he takes it for a ride, and then we're going to see how much fuel it uses, but try and make it interesting. Stay tuned for that.
So Solex as a brand got their start just after World War II, a lot the same as a lot of other small engine companies in Europe, based on refinancing dollars from the US. And the design started as strapping a little motor onto the front tire of a bicycle, and 30 years later in 1974 they were still just strapping a motor on top of a bicycle. The design is as simple as it can get, really. The motor and fuel tank are built all as one unit, which is mounted on a pivot over the front tire. The motor is literally dropped onto the top of the tire using a lever to engage drive mode. The front brakes are typical cantilever bicycle style brakes, and in the rear is a hub mounted drum brake, which is mostly ineffective. The only suspension on the bike is a tiny coil spring that is underneath the saddle. The bike does have a headlight and taillight powered from the motor. They're not working because the bulbs are blown, and I've opted to use just a regular flashing LED light instead. I had written that my Solex was a 73 model, but after talking to a dude who is likely the most knowledgeable Solex guy on the planet, it turns out that my bike's actually a 74. So thanks to Brian Solex for that information package, and we'll link that in the information. So the operation of this machine is as simple as the machine itself. This lever over here flips forward and down, and that's what locks the motor onto the front tire. When starting, this decompression valve, which is right here, needs to be pushed down, and then I pedal it along a little bit just to get the motor turning and release the decompression lever, and the motor will start right up right away.
For the fuel economy step, there's no gas gauge. There's no way of really measuring on board what we're going to do. So we're going to use the old-timey dipstick, just like a Trabant. We're going to use a measuring cup, graduated in both liters and cups, to see how much fuel we're going to need to go through our set distance. We simply stick the dipstick in there, see how much fuel we need to bring it back up. I've already got a notch in the stick, so we know how full actually is.
That was fun. Now let's see how we did for fuel economy.
So Matt's completed his drive cycle. Now it's time to see how much fuel it took. How much do you think it is going to take?
According to my calculations, it should take around 424 milliliters, which is very specific.
That is awfully specific. Let's get the cap off, check it with the dipstick, top it up, and see what it does. Here is our trusty stick. There's our mark. All right, pour away, my man.
You see?
Oh, yes. And
Oop.
stop. A little spillage.
We brimmed it.
We brimmed it. And how much did it take?
It took 1 cup pretty much exactly.
So the next thing is to figure out how far our drive cycle was, do a little bit of math, and then we'll see what it did. We'll display that down below here-ish. So that gives you an overview of the Solex 5000, the little 2-stroke moped that it was, and its fuel economy. It's great fun to ride, although you look particular doing it.
Sure do. We got far better fuel mileage than we ever expected it to.
And it held together, didn't break down. That's always a plus. So we'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Later. Call me.